So Pokemon Go has finally been released in the UK, and with Asia on the way, it means we're getting closer to that full global release for Pokemon Go, and it means just a lot of new players, not to mention the new players that are joining every day. Even though it feels like Pokemon Go is already taken over, more and more people are starting to learn, understand about it, and just finally cave in and say, sure, why not? So because of that, I want to do a guide on how to get the best experience rates for new players, as well as the most optimized experience for more experienced players at this time. I think it's going to help everyone kind of catch up and get on an even ground. And even though Pokemon Go hasn't been out a long time, I feel a lot of new players might feel disadvantaged at just the experience and level gap, but there is a very fast way of making your trainer the very best, like no one ever was. And it's going to involve a word that not a lot of people like hearing: microtransactions. Here's the thing, microtransactions in Pokemon Go are not bad at all, that the prices are very fair and the value you get out of your money is very, very good. And also, you're supporting the company, you're supporting the product. I don't think that's a bad thing at all, especially if you want this game to last a long time. More money coming in, the more quality you're going to get out of the updates, and the longer the game is going to last. But let's look at AAA games for a second, because most of them are around $60, and even games like Overwatch costing $40, and it's all about the value proposition. Here's the thing about Pokemon Go. It's incredibly addicting, and it's going to suck a lot of time. So you're going to probably play Pokemon Go for more hours than you're going to play any of the new games, and it's going to be a lot less expensive. How much is it going to be? Well, you can get a really good Pokemon Go experience for as little as $1. That $1 will boost you super hard, and that's really all you need to pay. But at the same time, $5 is going to be more than enough, and it's still a very amazing deal. So what are we going to do when we get to the shop? Well, the first item we are going to keep our eye on is the Lucky Egg. The Lucky Egg is going to double all of your experience, and it's only 80 Pokecoins, and that's pretty much the biggest thing about catching up, or at least starting off. That if you have a Poke Egg going during all of your optimal times, in the first day you can get insane experience rates, and that's actually going to be the best time to use it, because you do get a lot of experience for new Pokemon. And when we pull up the experience chart, we can see that there's a couple of things that are going to apply to new trainers the most, and that's specifically catching and registering new Pokemon. That every new Pokemon you add to your Pokedex is going to give you 500 experience, as well as evolving Pokemon to gain 500 experience as well. If you have a Lucky Egg working for you, as almost every encounter is going to be a new Pokemon, your experience rates are going to be insane, so it's worth the dollar, it's worth the $5, just make sure you always have those Poke Eggs going. Also, when you start your game, you're given 2 incense, which attract Pokemon to you for 30 minutes. The Lucky Egg lasts for 30 minutes, so you can use those two together, and your experience is going to be pretty crazy as Pokemon literally come to you. And you can also do this while adventuring. They're out and about adventuring, Incense is giving you more encounters while you're also finding the natural encounters, and then you're getting insane amounts of experience. But it doesn't stop there, because you're going to need Pokeballs. Well, here's where if you did buy the $5 or $10, you can never run out of Pokeballs effectively, and you can have a good supply then, as well as also having items for later down the road when you're playing this game and getting even more addicted to it. But there's another way to also keep on top of all of your experience rates, and that's Pokestops. You gain experience for passing by a Pokestop, and if you get really lucky and find more than 6 items, you get double the experience as well, which is just going to keep stacking with your Lucky Eggs. Optimally, you're going to want to look for an area that has multiple Pokestops in the area, and this can be found around parks or downtown areas or any kind of cityscape. And also, you might get really lucky because businesses love throwing down lures, that when a business uses a lure, it's going to attract Pokemon there. So one, it's going to save on incense, which means you might not have to use all 2, or you can use all 2, make your way to a Pokestop, and then they could be using a lure for themselves right there. Because here's the thing about business. If you are using a Pokestop and it's driving customers to your business, it's just going to be beneficial for you in every way. So a lot of businesses are doing this. If you go to a city area, it's not uncommon to find 5 to 7 or even more Pokestops in a very close area to where you can walk around non-stop tag the Pokestops while catching Pokemon, while also encountering lures while using your lucky egg, the experience rates for that first 30 minutes to an hour can pull you up to level 7. I've been talking with friends who have given me advice about how to get these quick level ups and quick experience rates, and in their first 30 minutes, they have found people that have made it to level 7. I've heard rumors of level 8 in just 30 minutes using this method, because Pokestops plus new Pokemon plus non-stop encounters with that lucky egg is going to be insane. So if you take that into your first hour even, and it takes you an hour to hit level 8 or 2 hours to hit level 10, it's not unreasonable. And then we haven't even gotten to evolutions. So another thing on the experience chart is evolutions, that when you evolve a Pokemon, you gain 500 experience as well. And there are going to be 3 Pokemon that you want to target specifically: Caterpie, Weedle, and Pidgey. These Pokemon only require 12 candy to evolve, which is an absolutely low number. These 3 are the lowest, so don't think that these Pokemon are weak. Don't just pass them up because, oh yeah, I've already caught like 3 Weedle, why do I need to catch any more? For those evolutions. So as you're getting all these lures, as you're getting all these incense, just catch every Pokemon that you possibly can, and that's also where buying a little extra, spending a little extra money early could help out, because you can get a bag expansion which lets you hold up to more Pokemon, or you could also just send Pokemon away to the professor and get more candy that way. So pretty much you have to find an optimal balance of how many Pokemon to keep to evolve, but also the ones to give away, because every Pokemon you catch is worth 3 candy. However, if you get rid of it, that's 4. So technically you only need to catch 3 others to evolve the 4th one, and then that's going to be 500 experience right there. Otherwise, 1,000 experience while under that lucky egg. So there's a lot of optimization here, but if you just have a flood of Weedles and Wurmples and Pidgey, while also encountering other new Pokemon that are potentially rare, you can get these insane experience rates. So there's a lot of things you can do. If you only buy 1 egg, I recommend that you try to catch some Pokemon, try to get the incense going, but don't try to double down. You know, if you see a new Pokemon and it seems kind of rare, you might want to give it up. So try to catch a lot of Weedle, Caterpie, and Pidgey early on while you're using your first incense or 2, if you know that the downtown area or your local Pokestops are very common to have lures on them. Because that way you can use your incense, you can get those Pokemon then, which means you're going to have a lot of opportunity to evolve on your one and only egg if you only buy 1 egg. Again, $5, $10 probably the optimal amount, and it's definitely worth the value for what you're going to be getting out of this game. Even if you play Pokemon Go for a week, paying $10 and then getting a week's worth of enjoyment out of a game is pretty awesome when it comes to a value proposition. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the best is, but I think that's pretty fair, and it's generally personal preference. So then what you want to do is just use the egg plus the incense plus your lure, and then the experience rates are going to be insane. Now, why do you want to level up? Why do you want to do all these things? Well, the more levels you have gives you a ton of benefits. First off, you're able to get your team, you're also able to go to gyms and stuff like that, but Pokestops will give you better items. On the screen right now, you can see that by going to a Pokestop, you'll be able to receive different things at different levels that help you out immensely. The Raspberry will make it easier to catch Pokemon. You also get better potions, better Pokeballs, and you can also just have a lot of access to very awesome stuff. Also, a very big advantage to this is that natural Pokemon that you find in the wild will have higher CP, so it means you don't have to waste as many resources to try to train one of your earlier Pokemon up to be very powerful. That by doing this grind and getting to level 10 in the first day, or also taking this to further levels in a very short amount of time, you can focus on your team on a couple days in and still not be behind, while also having very powerful, very optimized Pokemon, just for spending a few dollars early, or at least having a very dedicated grind when it comes to visiting as many Pokestops as possible, farming as many items, getting the lures, making sure everything lines up. And also, as you level up and gain experience, you get free items. So you can see right here, and you can also go to Cerebi, I'll link it below, that Cerebi has a lot of guides and information about this. It's where I get a couple of screenshots off of, but most of the guide information is from my friends or personal experience. But you can see right here that the chart shows that you get some really awesome stuff, including a lucky egg pretty early on. So, you know, you can chain the lucky eggs. If you make it to level 9, you might have an extra lucky egg lying around. You also have a lot of Pokeballs and some other stuff. So you end up with some more incense and a lure modulator. So you can kind of snowball this into further levels really fast just from that earlier purchase, and then you're pretty good to go. Now also, for new trainers, if you haven't heard about it right now, you can also receive Pikachu. So what you want to do is walk outside and then you'll notice your 3 startup Pokemon, but just keep walking past them. After you walk past them long enough, a Pikachu will eventually appear and it will be yours to catch. So that's the thing, Pikachu is a pretty cool Pokemon, and I think it would help out, if a new trainer wants Pikachu. So I think that's a little bit of fun advice, but it just kind of shows that the earlier on in the game you use the lucky egg as you're encountering new Pokemon and getting all these evolutions, the higher your experience rates are going to be, and it just makes it very optimal as you keep kind of progressing along. The lucky egg is probably the most powerful item in the game when it comes to everything, because the more experience you have, it snowballs into all those other benefits, and that's really going to take off. So that's it for the guide. Please leave some feedback. Here's what I want: some comments and likes right now. So if you enjoyed this video and you think it gave good information, please leave a like, and also comment down below. Do you think I should be doing more Pokemon Go coverage? Now that Pokemon Go is being just this explosive phenomenon that everyone is playing and everyone's getting hold of, as well as more releases. Canada, once Canada comes out to it, that's an English-speaking place. They're going to be able to take advantage from this guide. So maybe if you're in Canada and you're waiting for Pokemon Go, tell me if you enjoyed this guide. Tell me if you think this is helpful. Also, leave advice on how I can make future guides better, what you expect out of other guides, what I should do, if I should continue this. Like I said, since I've already kind of missed the biggest burst of hype, do you think there's still a lot of opportunity for guides to still have new information, or should I just kind of focus my attention elsewhere on the channel? Also, give me examples of other guides you want. If you found an awesome little trick that you think everyone needs to know about Pokemon Go, please leave it below. Or if you think that there is a disconnect, that since people are going to be doing a lot of online written articles and blog posts, that transferring those to video is going to be more advantageous, and it's not going to really dilute the level of information. I don't want to repeat something that has already been broadcasted to millions of people. I want to kind of bring new information and ideas like that, so comments like that will be very appreciated. Any kind of support for Pokemon Go. It kind of sucks because I missed the bandwagon since I don't own a smartphone. I haven't been able to play it non-stop, but I have gotten first-hand experience through my friends and through other guides and stuff. So I think I can at least make a competent guide. That's like my biggest fear, is like, I didn't want to make guides because I thought it would just be bad and everyone else would already know the information, but I'm going to give it a shot anyways. So please tell me what you guys think, and I hope that this all helps. So if you guys enjoyed the video, Pokemon Go hype, and I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.